Good morning, whoever's joining us online. We're just about to get started. I see your videos are off. Oh, there. Hello, there's one video. Hi. I've got you guys muted already because we're about to start, but I'm Nancy. It's a yoga class that kind of is basics meets gentle flow. Okay. Okay. And then I recommend if you do have 2 blocks or anything that you can substitute for a block to have those handy. So let me spotlight my video. So then that's all right.
You don't see me, so I mute my session.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and mute all of you guys. There we go. All right, perfect. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Sorry for my not being here past week, a little unplanned time off. It happens. It happens. But all better now. So I hope everyone is also well. So well, happy Monday. Happy last Monday of January. Quick announcement. I will not be here Thursday. Now I'm forgetting if class is canceled or it's my daughter's sweet 16 on Wednesday. And it's going to be a late night because my dad decided to treat the 3 of us to go see Bruce Springsteen up in Tampa. Jersey girl through and through. So late night. I thought, probably better that I don't push myself Thursday morning. So I will miss you all, but I'll be relish. She's learning to like him. It will be an experience that she will appreciate probably 10 years from now.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, she'll fall in love with his music.
Well, that if anyone's ever been to a live show, yeah.
I have like 5 or 6 times.
Same. Yeah, I think this is number 7 for me.
Yeah.
And the energy, I mean, he really,
He's incredible.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. After his 3-hour show, your daughter's going to thank you.
I hope so. And to be able to go with my dad's about to turn 85. So it's neat to be able to do these things with him. And yeah. So special, we gotta treasure these moments. So just switch topics totally. I wanted to do this class as more like a basics meets gentle flow today and offer you a little bit of instruction for one particular pose that we do all the time, Cobra. And those who have been coming to my class for a while know that my training is really rooted in the ancient teachings of yoga and the stories, some of the mythological stories, some of just the teachings that have come to us from the Yoga Sutras. And the story around the Cobra pose is a really interesting one. So find a comfortable seat where you're somewhat of a meditative seat that you can do your own tuning in. I want you to try and listen to my words with your eyes at a soft gaze or closed. But a seat that you're gonna be able to be still in for a couple of minutes. Find a tall spine, take a deep inhale through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. And as you focus on your breath, feeling the breath enter your nostrils on your inhale, and then pass through the nostrils on your exhale, bringing your attention to focusing on your breath. Our breath being a key to our yoga practice. So in yoga, cobra pose, or in Sanskrit, Bhujangasana, is on the outside a simple back bend. Resembles the look of a cobra raising its hood. It's performed on our bellies with bent elbows, hands beside the chest, lifting our head and chest higher up by calling on our back muscles, not the hands, like snakes do with no limbs. Physically, the pose helps to strengthen, stretch, and mobilize our spine while helping us to open our chest and shoulders. But beyond the physical, in Indian mythology, the snake is of revered status. Some of the deities like Shiva adorns himself with a cobra around his neck, signifying a deep familiarity with the fear of death. Shiva's son, Ganesh, wears a cobra around his waist, not just as an homage to his father, but as a symbol of his attempt to follow his father teacher's footsteps along the yogic path, a commitment to mastering his fears. Vishnu sits on Ananta, his thousand-headed serpent liaison, whom is reincarnated as Patanjali, Patanjali being the person that brought us the Yoga Sutras. And when the Buddha was meditating under a sacred Bodhi tree, the king of cobras slithered up behind him and opened his great hood, creating a large canopy to protect him from heavy rain. Kundalini is the spiritual serpent lying coiled in the base of our spine. It is believed that it is sleeping for most people. But once awakened, it rises through the spinal cord like a king cobra raises its head and body, and enlightenment follows. So, while the cobra is a fearsome creature for most, it is a friend of the yogi. Its many manifestations can help us on the yogic path as we stumble over obstacles, poisons, and fear. The snake is a powerful symbol of our ability to relinquish all fears as we progress on a spiritual path. The way we give up fear is not by running from it, as some might do when they see a cobra, but by getting close to it and seeing it from a different perspective. Bringing your hands to your heart center now to set your intention for your practice this morning. Think in terms of, fears are like our shadows. But we can use our yoga practice and meditation to work on overcoming whatever fears are stirring inside. So set an intention for your practice to maybe work on one of your fears. That as you feel the physical effects, but also the effects on what it's doing to the chatter in your mind, all as a progression forward. And let's open the practice with the sound of Om. So take a deeper inhale and exhale. Inhale. Thank yourself for being here. And slowly open the eyes. Let's start on our bellies to do a little bit of just getting to know being on our bellies. So our crocodile pose. When you get on your belly, go ahead and separate your legs so that your toes are pointing to the back corners of your mat. And then either keeping the tops of your feet on the mat or turning your feet out so that your inside ankles come towards your mat and your feet are a little bit more flexed. And then lift your forehead off the mat and then stack your hands, elbows out to the sides of your mat, and drop your forehead to rest on the backs of your hands and see if that's a comfortable position for your neck. If you want a little bit more lift, you can maybe opt to stack your forearms and rest your forehead on your forearms. And if both of those positions are uncomfortable, then you can separate your hands fully and let your forehead rest on the mat. So crocodile pose will be here for at least 2 to 3 minutes. So begin to settle in. Bring all your attention to your breath. So noticing how different the breath feels when we're in this prone position. You're being forced in a way to breathe from your diaphragm. And by breathing from your diaphragm, it helps to send a message to our nervous system to come to a calmer state. So this is a great pose if you ever just are in a stressful situation and need to take 5 minutes, just come to crocodile pose and tune into your breath. So your inhale, notice how the belly is pressing against the mat, the ground, the earth. On your exhale, notice the breath traveling maybe to the middle of your back or to your low back. Notice the fullness of the breath, or if it feels short. When we breathe from the diaphragm, it helps our lungs expand. It helps to fill the rib cage. Breathing through your nose, noticing the abdominal muscles pressing against the floor as you inhale. The body relaxing as you exhale. See if you can bring a softening to your abdomen. letting your breath flow in and out on its own rhythm. Allowing the nervous system to quiet. With the abdomen pressed into the floor, the belly doesn't reach the lowest part of our belly. The breath fills in the lower back and sides at the waist. Continue to keep your focus on your breath. But now maybe add in a body scan. Maybe starting from the feet as the breath, as your inhale brings the breath up, notice if the breath is going to any part of your body, maybe a part of the body that's needing a little bit more attention. And then slowly start to invite movement into the toes, turning the feet, if they were turned out, bringing the tops of the feet to the mat, and then just wiggling the toes, maybe circle the ankles a little. Slide the legs closer together. Try and bring the legs together, engage them, feeling this energy as you point your toes to the windows behind. And then gently flex your feet. And just notice the muscles that are engaged there, and point the toes again and feel a lengthening down your legs. And then slowly separate the hands from under your forehead and slide them out to the sides. I think everybody's got enough room. So slide them all the way out. So straight out from the shoulders, palms face down on the mat, forehead on the mat. Reach through the fingertips, lengthening the arms. And now slide the right hand in to the side of your chest, bending that right elbow. Press into the hand to start rolling yourself onto the left side of your body. That left arm still outstretched. You're stacking your legs, you're stacking your feet, and then dropping the head down. So stretch for the shoulder here. So keeping the left arm where it was. Yeah, so stretch. So you're rolling onto the left side. So feel that stretch for the shoulder. Yeah. And a little balancing on that left side. Maybe engaging the muscles in the abdomen a little bit to keep you stacked. And see if you can just let that head have void of tension. Come back to belly. Stretch the arm out. Now roll over your side. Bring that hand and push into that hand. Stretch that shoulder, yeah. Woo. And now rolling onto the belly. Slide the right arm back out, forehead to the mat. Slide the left hand into the chest. Press into the left hand, roll yourself onto the right side now, opening up the right shoulder, dropping the head down. Balancing here on the right side. See if you can free the neck of any tension as you are stretching and opening that right shoulder. Beautiful. Breathing in, breathing out. As you maybe feel that shoulder opening more, you can maybe put a little pressure into that left hand and open the left chest toward the ceiling. So you're stretching that right shoulder a little bit more. And then rolling on to the belly. Slide both hands into the chest and tuck your toes under. Push yourself up. Push your seat back to your heels, coming into this squat pose with extended arms, extended spine, the belly resting on the thighs, and all 10 toes making contact with the mat. Spread those toes. And then inhale to tabletop. Tops of the feet can rest on the mat. Check in with your alignment, knees under hips. Shoulders stacking with elbows and wrists. And then into cow on your inhale. So lift the crown of your head, tilt your tailbone up. Exhale, draw the belly in, round the spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale as we open the chest in cow pose. And exhale as if somebody's pushing their fist into your belly, helping you to round the spine. And then inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat pose. And then finding tabletop neutral, extend the right leg behind you, lifting that right leg hip height. Balancing your hips, leveling your hips out. Flex the right foot, push that right heel toward the windows, like you're standing on that right foot in the air, and then inhale, left arm up by the ear. So finding spinal balance here, make little micro adjustments for yourself to find more stability. Visualize your hips moving towards your midline. Lengthen through the left fingertips. Push through the right heel. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring elbow to meet the knee, rounding the back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen, drop the left hand down, swing that right foot out to the side. Inhale, the right arm up, coming into a twist here. Plant that right foot down. The edge of your right foot is parallel with the wall. Reaching through the right fingertips up to the ceiling. The palm facing this wall so that your shoulder externally rotates. Finding some space in the chest. And then exhale, lowering that right hand down. Walk your hands back so you're coming up on this left knee. Right foot still grounded. Inhale, left arm up by the ear and a side bend to the right. So as we take this side bend, think about lengthening, feeling the opening in this hip flexor in the left side of the rib cage. This left arm reaching and lengthening in line with the ear. And then exhale, drop the left hand down. Maybe lift that right leg up, right arm lifts, flex the right foot. Push through that heel. Deb can brace against you. Beautiful. And lowering down, come back to tabletop. Take your knees wide, bring your toes to touch. Push your seat back to your heels. Finding child's pose, 5 breaths. Is right. Anytime you need to sigh the breath out of your mouth, making that audible sigh, it's a beautiful way to connect with the breath, but then return to inhaling and exhaling through the nose. When we inhale and exhale through the nose, it helps to clear our nasal passages. It helps to invite in almost like a metronome for our practice. One more full breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale as you lift back to tabletop. Hands and knees. Find your alignment, knees under hips. So there should be a little bit of a space in between your knees, a little bit more than a fist. Engage the belly. Inhale into cow pose. And exhale into cow. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. And then back to neutral. Extend left leg behind you, lifting it hip height, leveling your hips, flexing that left foot. Imagine you're standing against that back wall. Inhale, right arm up by the ear, finding our balance here. If you engage the belly muscles a little bit, might help with stability. Take an inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen, drop the right hand down, swing the left leg out to the side, planting that left foot down, lift left arm up, opening up into our twist. Rooting down through that left foot for support so we can focus on opening up the chest and reaching through left fingertips. Full breath in. Exhale, lowering that left hand down, and then walk your hands back so you're standing on this right knee. Inhale, right arm up by the ear. Coming into gate pose. So think about lengthening in this side bend. Reaching through the right fingertip. So similar, when we come into our back bends, it's not about getting the greatest arch. It's about lengthening. Breathing into the space we're opening up. And then exhale, lower the right hand down to the floor. Lifting left leg up, left arm lifts. Flex that left foot. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then lowering back down, bringing that left knee in, finding tabletop. One more cow and cat. And then coming back to neutral, and I've talked about it a lot. We want to rotate our elbow creases to the front of the room. Keep your hands where they are. So your wrist creases face forward, face the mirror. Rotate your elbow sockets. So the elbow creases also face forward. And now just bend the elbows a little bit into your side bodies. Notice how they don't flare out to the sides. Push back up. Inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows. Lower just a little bit with control. Push back up. And lower. Hugging the elbows in, draw the shoulders away from your ears and lift back up. So now watch up front for a moment. Elbow creases still facing forward. I'm gonna rock forward a little bit. See, my shoulders just came past my wrists. I'm gonna bend my elbows and I'm gonna lower my whole body down. And notice my hands end up right by my lowest set of ribs. Isn't that beautiful? And my elbows stay close into my side body the whole time. We want the positioning of our hands by our lowest set of ribs when we move into Cobra. If the hands are up here, everybody look up here for a minute. If your hands are here, where are my shoulders? Mhm. What about now?
Down.
We don't want to create tension in the neck and shoulders. We want to open that space when we do our back bends, when we do our chest openers. So come back up to tabletop. Maybe side view will help as well. So side view, elbow creases rotate forward, drawing belly in. Shoulders move past my wrists. I bend my elbows and I lower my whole upper body down to land at the same time. Come back to tabletop. Try it one more time.
I just get down.
You're doing great. You're doing great. So lean forward a little bit. Shoulders come past wrists. Bend the elbows. Lower the body down. Then check in, bring the legs together. So the hands should be by the lowest set of wrists, the lowest set of ribs. Your shoulders moving away from your ears. Hug the arms, the elbows into the side body. Now, feel the energy coming up the legs. Lift the hands off the mat a smidge and let the upper body lift up by the strength of your back and the energy from your legs. Just take a picture. Lower down. So now add the hands, but do it in the same manner that you just did, not using your hands. So again, hands are placed by your lowest set of ribs, elbows hugging in, shoulders away from the ears. Let the energy, Jerry, leave your legs on the mat. So we're not moving in a Shalabhasana, locust pose. This is Cobra. So we keep our legs, our lower half of the body stays on the ground. We're just lifting upper body. So on an inhale, so go ahead and practice several rounds on your own. Just inhaling as you lift upper body and exhale to lower down. Inhale, upper body lifts with the breath and exhale, lower down. Find a rhythm. Picture that revered cobra, not using any limbs to open up its hood. What might you be afraid of in doing this pose? What can you release yourself of? Last one, think about lengthening and lower down. Beautiful work. Let the arms come alongside your body. Palms face up, turn one cheek to the mat, take a couple breaths with your head turned to one side. And then turn the head to the other side. And then forehead to the mat, slide the hands by your side body again. Tuck your toes under. Push yourself all the way back to your heels. Come to tabletop. If you have blocks, place them on either side where your hands were, and then step your right foot in between your blocks for lunge. If the hands are on the mats, it would look like this. Maybe for some of you, the blocks might be at the highest. Deepen the bend maybe in this right knee a little bit, stretching this left quad muscle a little deeper. And then everybody shift back so your shoulders are in line with your hips. Float the arms up on Janiyasana. Soften shoulders. Press into the right foot to help ground you. Taking weight off the left knee. Hands come to heart center, twist open to the right. Lean forward, lengthening the spine as you do. Left elbow maybe hooking with that right knee. Press palm into palm to help open that right chest. Maybe separate the hands, the arms, reaching the fingertips in opposite direction. Bringing the hands back to the heart, to center, hands down to the blocks. Bring that right knee back to meet the left and switch. Left foot forward. Wherever you're at, you can stay upright. You can be at the middle height. You can deepen the bend in that left knee. Just taking a few breaths here in low lunge. And then shifting shoulders in line with hips. Float the arms up on Janiyasana. Press into the left foot to help ground you. And taking weight out of that right knee. Hands to heart center, twist open to the left. Find the twist first and then lean forward so you're reaching with the spine lengthening. And maybe that right elbow hooks with that left knee, and then maybe option to separate the arms, fingers reaching in opposite direction. Bringing hands back to heart and then back to center. Hands come down to the blocks. Bring the blocks forward. Tuck the right toe under. Lift up to low lunge and then step that right foot forward to meet the left and lift up halfway, finding a flat back. Full breath in, and then on your exhale, bend the knees a little bit. Float the low belly to your thighs, and then let the head hang, forward fold. And then option to straighten the legs to your comfort level. Here and forward fold. It's never required to straighten the legs. And now put a deeper bend in your knees and roll up to standing. Inhale, float the arms overhead. And exhale, come into your forward fold again with bent knees or a soft bend. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step both feet back, finding plank pose, and drop your knees down. So that yogi push-up that we did, rotate elbow creases forward, rock the shoulders forward a little bit, bend the elbows, hugging them in, lower the upper body down. Inhale, lifting upper body into cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower down, tuck your toes under,
Push your seat back to your heels. Lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. So moving through our sun salutation. At this point, when we get to downward dog in the sun salutation, it is almost like a rest. When we find our alignment in downward dog and able to take a full even breath, we gather ourselves. Lift your gaze to look in between your hands, come up on your toes, walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lifting up halfway, and exhale, fold. Bend your knees and roll up to standing. Inhale, the arms overhead, closing the sun salutation, bringing hands to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. 3 rounds of breath here, counting your inhale to 4 and your exhale to 4. Arms come alongside, finding Tadasana. Hands to the hips, lift right knee to a 90-degree angle and flex that foot. Seems simple. So see where the imbalance is if you're shaking. Where can you bring your attention to? Maybe it's just the breath. Maybe the arms float up by the ears. Maybe the right leg straightens, reaches forward. Rebend, hands to heart center. Hug that, let that right knee into your chest. And release it. Shake it out. Find Tadasana mountain pose for a moment. Close your eyes and just tune into the breath. The thing with balance, yes, it does get harder as we age. It's just what happens. But tune in to where the imbalance is. Are you afraid that you're going to fall over? And then channel the breath to help you overcome that fear. So open the eyes and find a point that you can focus on straight ahead. Begin lifting that left knee to the 90-degree angle, flexing that foot. Hands can stay where they are, or hands to hips if that helped you. Maybe the arms reach up. Maybe that left leg extends. If you wobble, just come back. Maybe rooting down through the standing leg helps. And then rebend, hug that knee into the chest. And release. Inhale, flip the arms overhead. And exhale, lower down, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. So finding another sun salutation. Step back to plank. Drop the knees down. Elbow creases face forward. Lean the shoulders forward a little bit as you bend at the elbows, lowering the upper body down. Find that energy coming from the legs, lifting you up into cobra. And exhale, pushing your seat back to your heels with your toes tucked under, lifting the hips up. Downward facing dog, 5 breaths. So where can you find more grace? Where can you soften? Can the hips lift a little higher up to the ceiling so you feel like your arms are lengthening? You're creating space in the shoulders. The tension releases from your neck and shoulders. One more full inhale. And exhale, and then lift your gaze, look between your hands and walk the feet up to the top of your mat. And inhale to a half lift. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, come all the way down to your mat. Extending the legs out in front of you. And separating the legs a little bit. I think everybody's got enough room for that. Rock a little forward, move the flesh away from your sits bones so you can get a tall spine. Take the arms up by the ears and then we hinge forward. Keeping that length in our spine at the point that your back will round, start rounding. Drop the hands down, close the eyes. Finding our equal breathing where we match our inhales with our exhales, keeping the toes pointing up, the knees pointing up, so not letting the feet or the knees roll forward. Be reminded of crocodile breath. Even though we're not on our bellies, feel the spine lengthen on your inhale. Your exhale, feel where the breath meets your spine, maybe the low back. If you feel like you're hunching over, lift up a little bit. You don't have to go as deep. Last full round of breath. And then inhale to lift. Bring the soles of the feet together, drawing the heels in toward your pubic bone, and open the soles of the feet up to the ceiling. Interlace the fingers around the feet, lift up. Everybody reach the crown of the head up to the sky. Shoulders away from the ears. So this might be where you stay. I invite you to stay. If this feels good, just feeling this lengthening up and this rooting down through the sits bones. Close the eyes and follow your breath. So your inhales are matching your exhales. And then maybe on an exhale, maybe you feel like you can hinge forward a little bit, but not rounding forward. Hinging forward, keeping the length. The lengthening of your spine to help us reverse the aging process. To open up our vertebrae. The years of compression from sitting and walking. We can slowly reverse. Inhale to lift up and then extend the legs out in front of you. This is called Paschimottanasana. Inhale the arms up by the ears, reaching up and again, hinging forward. When you get to the edge, you might have blocks on either side to place the hands. Again, keeping that length. Let the muscles in the thighs relax.
toes pointing up, big toe pushing away, pinky toe drawing towards you. Mindfully following our inhales and exhales. Inhale to lift up, slowly coming onto your backs, drawing the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug, rock maybe from side to side, just feeling the massage for your back, for your sacrum. And then allow the feet to come down to the mat. Draw the right knee into or toward your chest and then turn it out to the side, bringing the right ankle to rest on your thigh, your left thigh. Right foot flexed. Take the right hand, gently press, put a little pressure on the inside of that right knee, pushing it away from you, helping that right hip flexor to open. Creating this figure 4 shape. And coming into a spinal twist now. So listen for a moment. So just, you're in this figure 4. Very simple. Just drop the right foot down to the floor. Your left leg's gonna follow. Your left knee stays bent. When your right foot meets the floor, let that left knee brace against it. And then take the arms out to the sides, finding this spinal twist. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take it. Just, yes, release. Just breathe. Release that. Twist inside. And then your next inhale, feel it gather in your belly to lift that right knee back up, lifting the left leg, release that right foot to the mat. And then just for the low back to rest in between, heel toe your feet out to the edges of your mat and let your knees come together, and just take a few breaths here in between sides. Separate the knees, heel toe the feet in a little closer. Draw left knee in toward your chest. Turn that left knee out to the side, bringing the ankle on that right thigh. Take your left hand, gently press the inside of that left knee away from you. So your left shin is facing the ceiling. And as you gently press that left knee away from you, hopefully you feel it in that left hip flexor. And then coming into the spinal twist on this side. So you're in this figure 4, just simply drop the left foot now down to the floor. The right leg follows. The left foot presses onto the floor as that right knee braces against the left ankle, and then arms float out to the side. Twisting for the other side, or if you did the other side, Just make sure you get both sides. Following your breath here. Twists help our digestive system. Helping to protect our low back, our lumbar spine. On your next inhale, again, feel it gather in your belly to help lift the legs back up. Release that left foot, heel toe your feet as wide as your mat. And then slowly windshield wiper your legs. So dropping the knees down to one side. Use your inhale to lift the knees through center. Exhale, the knees drop to the other side. Inhale, the knees through center. And exhale, lowering them down. Inhale the arms overhead as you continue to windshield wiper the legs, and then on your exhale, the arms lower alongside. And then finishing up whatever side you're on. Bringing the knees to face the ceiling. Feet are as wide as your mat. Let your knees fall together. Bring your hands to your belly. Finding this constructive rest pose to help our belly remain soft, which helps our psoas muscle to soften and relax. Helps our inner groin muscle to be soft as well. So releasing tension from our psoas muscle. Moving into a more natural breath, not manipulating it. Giving our body a chance to accept the physical practice. You can keep your legs in this constructive rest pose if it's comfortable, if you're finding that it's comfortable for your low back, or if you'd like to extend the legs in a corpse pose. Softening the gaze or closing the eyes completely. allowing your body to meet the support of the earth. Notice if there's any parts of the body that you're trying to hold up. And there's nowhere to fall, so release. Imagine the outline of your body expanding. I listen to a lot of podcasts by Brene Brown. She recently interviewed Father Richard Rohr. From his book, Falling Upward, A Spirituality for the Two Halves of Life, he says, one of the great surprises is that humans come to full consciousness precisely by shadow boxing, facing their own contradictions, making friends with their own mistakes and failings. People who have had no inner struggles are invariably both superficial and uninteresting. We tend to endure them more than communicate with them because they have so little to communicate. And I immediately thought how this equates to fears, facing fears. Facing, sometimes our fears are our struggles. And this idea of shadow boxing and embracing, not hiding, not running away from, but knowing that they are part of us. And I love how our yoga practice helps us to work on these internal struggles, to remind us of our wholeness. Begin to invite in a deeper breath. Fingers, wiggling toes, circling wrists and ankles. Maybe inhale the arms overhead for a long stretch and then drawing knees into your chest to then roll onto one side. You take a couple breaths on your side. It helps to prevent any feeling of lightheadedness when you come to a seat. Helping the body to reawaken. Coming to your seat, bringing your hands to heart center. Take a little bow of the head toward your heart. Thank yourself for being here. Just acknowledging moments of today's practice that you can take with you through your day, through your week. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Sealing the practice with the sound of Om. Clear the breath. Just take a deep inhale, take a deep exhale. Om. Maybe the next time you see a snake, you'll look at the snake in a different way. Namaste.
I hope I don't
Do you know, they have been one of my greatest fears, like literally, just even a simple gardener snake, but I'll be honest, like my yoga practice and looking at them in a different light, I no longer run from them. I take a deep breath. I make sure that it's not one that can hurt me. And yeah, anyway, thank you, friends online.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's your name?
Lynn.
Lynn.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank
week.
you. Namaste.
Namaste. I don't know who that, it just said fire tablet for the other person who's online.
Anthony.
Anthony. Oh, good. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Have a
nice
good day. Bye.
day.